Hello, welcome back to the COD feed, the show where we talk about this weekend's best and worst in the CDL. I'm Scooch.
And I'm John.
And before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to keep the show going. All right? We've been having a good few weeks. We've been uploading and, we've been having fun. So, make sure to tag along with us and subscribe, all right? All right, so let's just jump into it. First off, one of the greatest weekends ever happened. Before we get into any COD stuff, let's just get this out there.
That's who you ask.
Hey, France is a small country, you know what I mean? Messi and Argentina won the World Cup. That's just
why he's the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT. Undisputed, zero debate, nobody else. That's it.
That's it. It's over.
We did miss some CDL because we were watching the final, and the come down from that was something.
Yeah.
It was peak
I thought I was
anxiety.
about to have a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly. So watching the CDL after that, I was just like,
Yeah, especially like we've been rooting for Argentina for so long.
yeah.
To finally have that World Cup win. So big ups.
Big ups to Messi. Big ups Argentina. They really did that. And also big ups to Emi Martinez, one of the greatest goalies of all time now. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. This weekend was a great weekend, I think, for the major. Had some great viewership numbers. Let's just get that out there. I will say probably highly influenced by drops.
Yeah.
As much as they might not want to admit that, or other people.
Yeah, if you spend some time in the chat, you'll see a bunch of people just saying, "I'm just here for the drops."
Yeah, a lot of people saying saying just, "I'm here for drops." It's muted. So take those numbers with a grain of salt. A lot of people are like, "Oh, look, it's doing better than ever." And while you have the numbers, it doesn't actually mean real viewers. But still amazing that the CDL is doing great numbers. Let's get right into it, man. I mean, our top frag for the week, we already know, no question, is our winner of Major 1, the Subliners, the New York Subliners.
What is a subliner?
What is it? It could have been the New York Pizza Kids or the New York Rats.
Yeah.
Zuma talked about that on the flank, that those were some of the names in contention before they went with Subliners. I don't know what a Subliner is, but and we're from here, so
Yeah, we're from New York.
I've never heard the word Subliner, so whatever. But
we gotta root for them a little bit just because we're from here.
Yeah, just because we're from here. Hey, listen, I'm not a Hydra hater, so probably one of the very few non-Hydra haters.
I think there's less haters than
you think so?
lovers.
I don't know. I feel like on Twitter, he gets and Reddit, he gets an unbelievable amount of hate. Even in the chat on Twitch, crazy amount of hate.
I think there's less haters. I think the hate is just more vocal.
That's kind of true. Yeah.
As per usual.
But, yeah, so listen. Our predictions were not correct. Let's just say that.
I don't think I was even close.
Mine was Legion Optic, which was a hopeful one. And let's just say Legion was not too far off. Okay, Optic, on the other hand, that's a whole other story. What were yours?
I know I put Gorillas, but I did put the disclaimer that I just put them in there just cuz.
Right.
Expect anything. And I can't remember. I think I put Surge. It was either Surge or Ultra.
Hey, well, if you said Surge, right,
that makes me think I probably said Ultra.
Listen, it's funny though, because Gorillas was probably the second worst team out of the pro teams, besides Ravens, who crashed out horribly.
Ravens is bottom of the the scoreboard, whatever, the standings.
But listen, Subliners, they came in hot. All right, they had a 5-game win streak, I believe, 5-series win streak, I believe, before they lost to Surge initially, who sent them into the elimination bracket. Yeah. And then they came right back in grand finals against Surge.
Yeah. Beat Legion. Beat Ultra.
Beat FaZe.
Beat FaZe.
What, did they beat FaZe?
They did beat FaZe, yeah.
And
the
then
losers final.
right. And then came right back up, played Surge, and honestly destroyed them. It was a 4-1, which was crazy. You wouldn't have expected a 4-1 blowout. They had won the first 3 maps. Fourth map, Surge narrowly won. And then they just came back, took the next map like it was nothing, and won 4-1. I mean, congratulations to them. Congratulations to, Hydra, who's, been on that team for a while now. Kismet, who really, I think, was the shining star of this team. I mean, don't get me wrong, they all looked crazy good this weekend, but Kismet has been their most consistent, I think, throughout all their games so far, at least their winning series. He shows out.
I think it's crazy though the fact that they lost 3-1 just to beat them 4-1 after.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's insane. Once they got out to Surge, I was like, oh God, are they gonna go on a spell of bad form right now? Nope. Came right back, and they were like, oh, it was a fluke. We got this.
It also probably map pool was different.
Yeah.
In the finals.
Yeah.
Probably helped them out a little bit, at least a little bit.
I think that's one thing that some of these teams have to think more about going into these series is vetoes. Make sure you try to get the map pool that you want, and don't pick maps or don't leave in maps that you might not be good at, because it's not gonna work in your favor.
Yeah, it's not worth it. The maps have a big say in these games right now.
Yeah. But with New York winning, not only did they win, but 3 out of the 4 are in the top 10 KDs for the weekend, with Skies number 1 with a 1.23 overall KD. Insane. Skies and Priesta came into this team, and I don't really know why Florida let Skies go. That was confusing to me at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we said it so much that we don't know why Florida made changes at all.
Yeah, Florida's changes were weird. I think they just needed better coaching. That's on them at this point. But Skies went insane, or has been going insane with Subliners. And then Priesta is having a renaissance, gets dropped by Rocker. And I think rightfully so, I guess, because he wasn't really performing this way on Rocker.
I think he was just an average player when he was on Rocker. He was it was not bad, but not amazing,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Not standing out at all.
This weekend, he had some crazy games, crazy maps. I mean, really, the whole team showed up, and that's considering that one of the map losses to Surge was really only because Hydra's controller disconnected, and we could get into this whole replay situation, but I think it's a moot point. Yeah, moot point at this point, doesn't even matter. Our opinions don't matter, and clearly there is no consistent rule for replay. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Regardless, if we act like that didn't even happen.
Yeah. Still insane. The team popped off. They played amazing.
Yeah.
Played amazing.
I honestly think, too, I was like, I think they were the only team that looked consistent throughout the whole major. Most of the other teams looked kind of inconsistent. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I can't think of a single team that I watched. I mean, to be fair, I think did I watch a lot of FaZe games this weekend? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think maybe FaZe looked consistent, but then towards the end,
yeah, because Surge, to me, Surge didn't feel consistent, I will say. Even though they did make it through winners the whole way through, they didn't feel like the team that would win to me at any point. I think, honestly, the only other team that I looked at the same way as New York was Ultra, and they just had a really, bad run of form. That's all I can really say about that. I think they're going to have to work on some stuff. But, New York at the same time, they're just that team right now. I think every team playing them they made most of the teams look bad that they played.
I also think teams underestimated them because they started the season off so horribly.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. They kind of did.
Really badly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, we thought we were going to get a nice little New York major next year in April, but apparently it's canceled. There is no New York major.
Breaking news, yeah.
It was breaking news. CDL Intel tweeted it earlier today.
We
That
still haven't
on
gotten any like official statement.
no official statement so far, but there's an article from esports. Was it esports what? Esports.com or whatever.
Esports.gg. Yeah.
Esports.gg. And apparently it's just a venue issue. The players found out from the tweet, right? Or how did they find out?
I don't know. I think they found out in the middle of the major, or like towards the end of the major. They found out, but they didn't know beforehand.
Right, and then
Yeah.
which is a shame because we were really looking forward to that one. That would have been fun to go to.
But also, I'm kind of not surprised because, I feel like here in New York, it's like there's so many venue issues.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know why.
Although we did say this last year during the New York major that they could have chosen a much better venue, like the Javits or something a lot larger. Because apparently, from what I'm seeing, one of the other issues is there is no space in the current venue that they chose for challengers. Javits is huge.
That's not an issue, but maybe it's too big too.
I guess, but at the same time, they did say they needed booth space for sponsor booths. They needed challenger space, and the way they had challenger set up for this major at least was amazing. I think there was a lot of just tables and computers set up, and some of these challengers games did draw gigantic crowds. So it wouldn't have been a bad idea to have it at the Javits. I guess maybe it is a pricier venue, but you could have found something else.
You had like I think Comic-Con a few years ago did like the anime section apart from
That's
Comic-Con,
right.
remember?
At one of the piers.
Yeah, it was at one of the piers. There's so many places they could have done it, and we kind of talked about this before that a lot of the teams aren't even based where they're representing, so they don't even know. Yeah,
because from what I heard on the flank with how am I forgetting his name right now? The CDL manager. He was on the flank, and they asked him about tickets and stuff, and most of the stuff is actually up to the teams. It's not really the CDL isn't really in charge of any of it. So
this one was the major one.
Yeah, this one was, but the ones that are like named after a team, so like the Boston major and stuff like that. Yeah. All that stuff is left up to them, like tickets and stuff like that. All left up to them. He says they only really help with like trying to get ticket sales and stuff like that, but for the most part, everything else is up to them. So that's kind of a flop on New York's part, losing out on a major. However, not terrible. We've been saying it for a while. The rumor, and they kind of teased it on their own Twitter, is that it could be in Vegas, even though people were saying it could be in Florida. But then Legion tweeted, "Be there, be square."
So there's two theories now, because originally when I saw that tweet, I automatically assumed they're doing the major, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now Twitter rolled out this new square profile picture. Literally just a few hours later, and I'm like, were they talking about that? Or were they talking about the major? So we don't know. They could just be trolling also.
Listen,
because of the profile pictures, but
we said it before though, and I mean, whichever it is, Vegas should have a major because they are a city that does have an actual esports venue that's pretty big, the HyperX Arena at the Luxor. And the Luxor even has RGB now on the outside, which is crazy.
It's literally like it's set up perfectly. They'd have to do such minimal work.
Ludwig had his Smash event there.
Mr. Beast had his
Mr. Beast had his his League of Legends thing there, and it was a cool venue, and I think people liked it. So I don't know.
Host,
it'd be great.
Pretty often they host events already.
Not only that, considering that it's at the Luxor, I'm sure you could have had the main stuff at the HyperX Arena, and then have the challengers in one of the convention rooms. Yeah. It is a hotel at the end of the day.
It's so easy.
Yeah, everything would have been so easy if they had just done it there. So fingers crossed it is in Vegas. The other place, obviously, Florida. A lot of people responded to that Legion tweet immediately, and they were like, "I'll be there. I'll be in Vegas. We're flying into Vegas."
Like people are hype.
Yeah, I only really saw like a few people that were. Yeah. They're like, "Leave it to Florida."
Yeah, which honestly, I don't really care where it goes.
Me either.
I think Vegas is like a perfect spot to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of, Legion also outperformed this weekend. By far.
Mentions.
This is an honorable mention because Legion finished top 6. They finished ahead of Gorillas. They knocked Rocker out of the tournament. All right.
They beat Rocker twice.
They beat Rocker twice. All right. Like what other teams did they finish ahead of? I can't even think of them right now. But they finished ahead of a lot of teams that no one would have expected. They finished ahead of Optic.
LAG.
Yeah. So big ups to them. I think Pro Loot this weekend really stepped up from 100%. Their online games. Pro Loot was crazy this weekend. He had a few S&D clutches. This team looks amazing. I have a feeling they are going to win a major this year.
And look at it. They technically tied with Thieves.
Thieves, yes.
In
placement, yeah. Thieves also finished top 6. That's right.
Crazy because Thieves is like one of the top teams that people are looking at right
now. Hey, those are the world champions for last year.
Back to back, the only ones that got a back-to-back win.
Yeah. So, listen, Legion's looking amazing. Clay did his thing. Temp absolutely did his thing. TJ had some crazy S&D rounds. Pro Loot looked amazing. Pro Loot actually did a lot better on control and hardpoint than he had before. However, Legion definitely need to work on the control. They lost a few maps just terribly. So they do need some work, but this is a team I could see climbing up and getting a major victory.
I think especially if they got their own major, they'd have so much like hype and just get that momentum. Because
I agree.
People would be cheering for them the whole time. I think it also helped them that a lot of Optic fans were cheering for Vegas because they had no one else to cheer for.
Yeah, I mean a lot of fans, most of the Optic fans over there ended up staying for them, and then a lot of fans of other teams too that got eliminated were cheering for Legion. I mean, I see it on the Reddit. A lot of people have their teams that they already cheer for, but are also cheering for Legion just because it would be cool to see them do something. It's an underdog story. They finished dead last season.
They already have more wins now.
They
did all of last season.
4-6 in their series right now, I believe. Something like that. I might be wrong, though, because it doesn't sound correct to me, but...
That sounds like a lot of games. They might be, though. I mean, they might be.
Actually, no, that would make sense because they did go 3-1 in qualifiers, online qualifiers. So 4-6 would have put them at...
They're 4-6, yeah. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, they've already won double the games they won last year. It's only the beginning, okay? They're in the middle of the table right now in placements and standings.
Yeah.
So, big ups to Legion.
Right above Optic, Texas.
Legion, you're looking amazing. You guys are going to do a lot this year. All right, now moving to our bottom fragger. We could say Optic, but more than anything, it's Illey. That Illey flop hit hard. Optic went out to Mutineers, a team they had already beat. And then they go out to them.
Yeah.
First one, Illey says he, quote unquote, big dick them. Or they big dick them.
Yeah.
And
I'll put the clip right here.
Yeah.
What was going on through your mind during that last round? Because we saw you out there with the scope holding out those angles. What was going on in your head? What was your game plan?
Honestly, the game plan was just to big dick them, to be honest. That's honestly all it was.
It's simple right there.
And then then we go on to the second series against Florida. The second Illey starts shooting a body and teabagging, it was game over. The game changed.
We said it the second we saw him shoot bodies. We were like, they're done.
That's it. It's over.
It's happened before. Like, we see it all the time when these players do this.
Mostly Illey, though. This is not the first time this has happened with Illey.
Illey's done it before, yes.
Yeah, where he shoots a body or does something arrogant, and then immediately Optic go on, to just flop hard. And it's so funny because apparently Brack said it from Mutineers. He said the second he saw Illey shoot their body, he's like, it's over.
Yeah.
It's game over.
I don't know what happens in his mind mentally, but the second he shoots that body, it's like...
And I had gone to the bathroom when this happened, but then I came back and you told me that they put a graphic up on the screen of before and after he shot the body, and it was his KD.
Yeah, they put his KD before shooting bodies and KD after shooting bodies.
Oh,
I wish I had the clip, but it was foul.
That was crazy. And then Florida go and do pull-ups on them after getting a flawless round.
I'll put that clip in there.
They
too.
did pull-ups on the gallows. That was.
Although Andashi is as dead as you like. An immaculate retake from the Florida Mutineers here, and Vikal might, the whole team might. I think they are. They're going to get a quick bit of a workout in. Come on, Vikal, get up there, son. They're going to get a workout in here in round 1. There we go, team. Up we go. Oh, Vikal, for God's sake, he's choking on main.
Oh my God, dude. Dude, honestly, if I'm getting my body shot, I'm a little bit annoyed. If I have to watch this,
Oh, embarrassing.
Disrespectful. But you see, that also came back to bite them.
Yeah.
Because then they go to lose.
It's funny though, because
afterwards.
they are becoming known as a team that shows up to majors just to be Optic. Like, that's all they do.
Yeah, that's how it was last season, right? And now
They've
it's kind
beat-
of happening again.
I think including last season, they've now beat Optic like 4 or 5 series out of all the series they played against each other, which is a lot.
Which is crazy because they're different. It's a different roster. The fact that Optic still can't beat them, like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's a complete. It's insane, bro. It's definitely a coaching thing. Probably the Florida coach just knows Optic too well or something.
Yeah,
but
maybe, yeah.
still, Optic need a lot of work. And listen, we said this too at the beginning of the season that everyone was so confident in Optic, but when we watched them play, I looked at them and I thought they're fragging and frying, but they don't look like a cohesive team. They didn't look to me like a team that could go on a tourney run and win the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
I never looked at them like that.
I think it also just feels like they just don't want to be there. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like they want anything. Like, they don't
Yeah.
want to win anything.
Yeah, and immediately now after the major, there's a lot of rumors that there is going to be a winter season break roster mania, and we could see Optic possibly rotate Illey out. Although Optic right now, I don't even think they have an actual sub, so I don't know if they'd be able to do that.
They gotta put Rambo.
Yeah, just put Rambo in. I mean, imagine having
He
your
is a
coach
sub, right?
sitting. Yeah, he's a sub.
Yeah.
And I think for most teams that don't have official subs, I think their coach is their sub.
Probably, yeah.
But like, think about how cool that would be. Your coach is literally next to you, and he's just giving you the strats in the middle of the game.
I don't
Guys,
know why more
rotate.
teams don't do that.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, a lot could happen during the break right now. Do I think Illey should get dropped? Listen, a lot of people are saying Optic shouldn't do anything right now, but they're just going into the same form that they had last season.
I don't think dropped, but I think definitely just subbed for
Yeah,
a little bit, yeah.
Sorry, I mean subbed out. Yeah, I don't mean like actual drop, because he does show signs of a really good player. It's just something.
The ego needs to get
checked.
checked.
His ego needs to get checked, because sometimes the second he starts doing these these arrogant things, everything changes, and then he just goes like negative.
falls
and
apart,
the
yeah.
team falls apart. Like, so maybe subbing him out, putting someone else on, would be good for the team. And, there are people saying they're like, you know what, maybe Shotzi was right. Maybe dropping Dashy and Illey would have been the best thing for Optic. And, I guess you can make the case for both sides in a way. Would it have been their best? Would it have been better? Yeah, maybe. But it could have also not done anything and maybe made them worse, right?
Yeah, depending on who they brought in.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Because I feel like they... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Optic, Scump and Shotzi are looking amazing. So it's really just Dashy and Illey that need to step up.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I feel like we've seen them play as a team before, and they've absolutely demolished. So I don't know. They just gotta play as a team.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think once we come back from the winter break, they need to really step up, kind of show people this is who we are. We are on top. But right now, they need work. Illey needs to stop doing what he does, stop being so arrogant, and, be humble for a little bit. And, you know, I think we could see Optic turn it around, but definitely get a sub and definitely maybe rotate someone out just to shock them, you know, just to give them that little bit of kick. Like, keep doing what you're doing and you're going to get, you know, benched. So,
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how they finish.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think,
hoping for the best for them.
yeah, me too. I'm hoping for the best for them. But, you know,
Especially because it's Scump's last season.
yeah, you would want him to at least get a win.
And he's doing really good.
He is. I think right now I could confidently say Scump is the best on the team.
Probably, yeah.
He's killing it, man. I never see him do anything wrong, so I don't know.
Yeah, so the team needs to clutch up and
Yeah, get him a win, you know.
yeah, at least a major win, if not
Yeah.
champs.
Well, I think we hit on everything so far for the weekend. It was a crazy weekend for us, you know. A lot of things disappeared from my mind after the Argentina win, so it was hard
Yeah,
for me
same
to
here.
like, you know, really get back into this. But you know, now we're kind of rolling back into it. Should be good.
But now we're
Good.
gonna have a little dry period.
Yeah, should be a good season, I think, for Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below on the first major. How you thought it went? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
Expect the winner?
Was it entertaining? Let us know down below. Until next time, I'm Scooch,
And I'm John.
and peace out.